Hey, 10-minute daily reality check. Yesterday was good. Today is going to be a little more comical, a little more interesting, but maybe a touch on what today's society is really missing. Okay, or maybe today's society is over-abusing. You see, long time ago, we went to high school. When we went to high school, we idolized maybe the jock who had the hot cheerleader girlfriend, maybe the quarterback, we never idolized the geeks, ever. Now they're idolized like crazy. Okay, so we have a reverse flip in the world right now. The geeks are idolized, the jocks are morons. But our society now, because of things like Instagram and Facebook and everything else, life is like this giant high school. That's all it is. It's a giant fucking high school in cyberspace. But the problem is the jocks and the greasers and the nerds. See, there's other people that are being idolized right now, and those people scare the shit out of me. So today we're going to talk about idolizing false Instagram gods and goddesses, because there are a lot of women in LA who think they're goddesses.
Amen.
Which is fine. I'm into goddesses. I think the female goddess is a great thing. But what is wrong with today's culture and how they've literally turned some of the dumbest individuals into gods and goddesses? What is wrong with Instagram? How does Instagram just do this? It rewards on nothing.
Well, like you were saying about high school, at least when you were in high school, the people you were idolizing, the high school quarterback who dated the captain of the cheerleading team, were real. You saw them in person every day. Now you sit at your office cubicle for 8 hours a day staring at your phone, looking at all these beautiful people on boats all over the world, not realizing that girl's there with some 80-year-old man who's doing God knows what with her so she can take that Instagram photo. Or she spent $20,000 on that face and butt to really look like that, and she's still unhappy with herself. And we like away and say our life is so bad when we go home to our kids and our husband who actually give a shit about us. So ask yourself, or our wife who actually gives a shit about it. So ask yourself, what am I really looking up to? Because are these people happy? Because normally happy people do happy things. Look at Richard Branson, a happy man gives away 50% of his earnings to charities all over the world, doing happy things. And a lot of people are doing good things, but those are the people we put in the back. But meanwhile, there's a 14-year-old girl talking about, how about that, with 8 million followers, and we steady go follow to it and get dumber by the moment. It's amazing.
We get dumber and dumber and dumber, and it's scary how dumb we become. Here we are. We don't even know these people.
Exactly.
We have no idea what they're about, what they're into, what they want. We have no idea about any of this stuff at all. We have not a fucking clue. But yet we idolize somebody who we've never even heard.
Everything they had on every day of the week, and where they ate and sat, and the workouts they did, and the cleanses they used. It's amazing. It's
great. You've got daughters. You've got teenage daughters, okay? Yeah. And they're growing up in this idolizing. There was a guy who ran a blog who went to Rainbow Acres, that when your daughter found out that you were at the same Rainbow Acres that this 13-year-old blogger was at, she was absolutely so excited. She couldn't believe. She was idolizing. And that's what's interesting, too. You have these people who can just craft an illusion of who they are. They're not even that. They're the Wizard of Oz. That's all people are looking up to now. It's all Smoke and Mirrors and Wizard of Oz. So you have this nerdy little boy that has a great imagination, so he imagines himself as this super person, right? Yeah. That he isn't. Yeah. And he creates this, and now all of a sudden all these girls love him. What is it like having daughters that talk to you about this such...
His whole deal was his blog was inspiring. First he started out, he was really overweight, and then they showed him training for a marathon.
He's a marketer.
I know.
13.
But I'm explaining to you that it went on for a long time. And the story kind of built, and they had all these kids, and it was like this whole happy family Mormon life. And so she really was into it for a long, long time. And then she sent me a text, literally not even 2 weeks ago, childhood destroyed. And then she had a link to the article that they just got discovered that one of them is a drug addict. Someone was sleeping with somebody else's wife. And the whole mystique of what it was blew up. Yep. So Haley had this vision of this guy being really cool and into his kids and a good dad and a good guy, and it just completely got blown away. All but she spent all this time kind of fantasizing, I think, in a sense that she wished her parents were still together. And this was a vision of how she would like to see her family be. And because it wasn't, she watched this to kind of make herself feel good about it.
That's cool, but I mean, it's a great perspective. And coming from a father, as a father's point of view with a daughter, that's like a really beautiful experience to have with them. But it still comes down to they are just idolizing made up,
and that's the thing,
made up people.
Exactly, they spend so much time putting into, and you got to ask yourself. Everybody has an Instagram, Facebook account. And if you notice, well, what am I doing different? Is your workout that much different from the people who have thousands of likes and followers? Or are they oiling up more, showing more skin? Think about how much effort it takes for them to spend all that time being great at Instagram and great at Facebook. And ask yourself, if you're that great at social media, how good are you at real life? There's got to be a balance to all this. And normally what you're going to find and see, these people you'll run into them living in LA, a lot of these Instagram gods and goddesses, they run around rampant. You run into them at the grocery store and the gym. And normally you don't really realize who they are because they're a lot smaller in real life, or they're not as big as they want you to perceive them to be. Not even size-wise, just personality, who they believe they are. You walk right by them and not realize it. Sometimes you have to pay attention to the details to see who people really are. We spend too much time, I want to be like Kim K. But if you really spend time around her, would you actually want to be around her? Probably not. So you got to ask yourself, what is it that these people have that I want that makes me look up to them? And is it really real that I'm looking up to? Because a lot of times nowadays we're getting caught away from what's going on, looking at what's not, to what's fake, to what's real, to play on words.
They're just actors and actors playing roles.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. They're just auditioning and people are buying their fucking illusion.
Yeah.
It's actually brilliant. I mean, if you think about it, it does take I know some of the people aren't that smart, but it does.
Exactly right.
It does. It takes a certain person, maybe a narcissist too, but it takes a certain person. See, with me and you and Greg, we all created images based on actually the life that we actually live. Like we have nothing to hide. There's no ghosts in the closet here. We have nothing to hide at all because we know who we are. We've said things. We've been controversial. This is our personality putting out there. We didn't do a market research and figure out, well, if I create this.
Absolutely.
And it is a sociopathic behavior because most of them get caught for lying.
I'm just going to be frank for a minute. The three of us walking into any room is going to draw attention. And I'm not saying that to be pretentious or to be narcissistic or anything. It's because it's self-confidence rating off for all of us. Because we actually believe in who we are. And that's the bottom line. And a lot of times these people who people are looking up to don't have any self-confidence at all. And they're just generating these perceptions that make you want to believe there's something they're not. And they're just as fragile as anybody else. If you don't really, self-confidence, and I'll give you this reason why. We all three of us have self-confidence. We all three don't spend our time helping other people. If you go to my Instagram page, I train women all over the world. It's all about them and their results, not watch me, the trainer, do a handstand. You know I'm in shape. I'm a trainer. That's what I do. Let me show you what I can do for other people and show you how I'm helping them. Because it's not about me. It's about you. And that's what you need to see from things. If you're looking for something for motivation, ask yourself, is this a page of narcissism or is this a page here to help me? And that's your first place of where to start is, am I idolizing somebody who's a Instagram or false god, I should say.
All right, you know, we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to leave at that because it's past 10 minutes. And we're going to talk tomorrow about swagger. Greg and I were talking about that in the car. And it's funny, Eddie, what you just said, we talked about on the way in the car back here going, when that girl just whipped her fucking head around, right? And she says, but look at us. It's like, we're not three average guys. Okay, we have confidence and swagger. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the difference between confidence and swagger and how you combine both of them, because both of them is what gives people that winning image or that winning personality. And also, women, also tune in tomorrow because you're going to want to hear this, because not only you're going to want to recognize what real confidence is versus swagger and the combination of the two, you're going to know how the female swagger and why it turns men like us on.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do that show tomorrow. We'll see the rest of you. Eddie, where can they reach you?
Easiest way to reach me is eddiepalmer12@gmail.com. We'll go from there.
And Greg, you know that you can reach me through Greg and Greg through me by going to davidwygant.com. Pass the podcast around, please, because we need more people with consciousness, brains, wit, who don't want to be a follower by following an Instagram god. They want to be a leader by being the leader, their own god. So you got to pass this around so we can all be leaders and stop following people that are playing Wizard of Oz. We'll see you tomorrow.